You're live now?
Hi, it's Laurie. I'm so glad you're back with me for Tea with Laurie, and I have got a very, very special guest today who has made a huge difference in my life and my career. So we're going to have a little conversation in a little while, but I thought I would start with, of course, I have to have my tea person. Can you see it? It's a monkey. Last time I showed a whale, and my son and daughter-in-law had given them to me. And Judith Mamie, I hope you're on tonight. I know you were going to come on from Florida, and she's one of my students from New Mexico. She took the Santa Fe photographic workshops with me last year, and she's going to France with me soon, and she also did Peters Valley, so a lot of you know her. So thank you for my monkey. It makes really good tea. So a lot of you are my students, and you know that we pull cards at the beginning of every class. And this is usually the deck that I bring, and this is Power Thought cards. And hopefully you can see that okay. It's a Louise Hay set. And you guys will testify, all my students, that we always get the card we need. We may not understand why we got it, and we may say, oh, no, that's not for me. But usually by the end of them reading the card, they then say, oh, wow, and they take a picture because it's something that the universe or whatever is giving us a message. So I thought I drew a card before our Tea with Laurie, and for our class in mind. So this is what I received. Every thought I think is creative. Every thought I think is creating my future. The universe totally supports every thought I choose to think, and I believe. I have unlimited choices about what I think I choose. Balance, harmony, and peace, and I express it in my life. Okay, so I'm going to start today with, I think a lot of us study artists, and we work with creative people, whether we take a workshop or however that looks. And I know sometimes artists make it look like it's very easy and that, we're having this kind of charmed life. And that's not true. I had a month that I had many meltdowns, and I think it's really important as an educator to share the vulnerabilities and also the fact that life doesn't always go evenly. I'm very lucky because I have a career that allows me to work out my psychology and channel my emotions into my work. But I mean, I reached out to my sons and the women in their lives and asked them for help this month, and I had people as sounding boards. And I really had a major meltdown one day, like Monday. And we had just had a snowstorm in Connecticut, and we had about 4 inches of snow. And it was gorgeous because it wasn't on the asphalt. It was just hanging beautifully on the trees. And my neighbor upstairs, Gary, I said, you're coming with me and we're going shooting. And I was like wound tighter than a ball. And we went out and shot, and I have to thank Gary Collins because he lent me one of his cameras because I'm trying to get out of the box a bit, and it's in a little Olympus, it's square, and I have this really cool lens that he gave me that has, it gives like circles of confusion around it. So it's kind of like a toy. So I went out with that, and of course my infrared camera, and I shot. And I totally became back at peace with myself. And when we talk more about the creative process and things that will help us with creative blocks and breaking through things, this is one of the things that I do, is when I go out into nature, when I go photograph for me, I become a different person. I become centered. I realize how lucky I am. Many of you have heard me say, I think I'm the luckiest woman in the world, and I do, because I'm around wonderful people. I have great students, and I get to do what I love the most, which is my passion, besides my children, of course, over 40 years, which is my photography. And when we came back, Gary says, oh my God, you're like a different person. I was centered, my energy was back in place, and I realized what I was working myself up in a tizzy really was trite. So I'm going to show you a photograph. I took this photograph that day, And it was a birch tree, obviously, and it was just reaching out. I mean, there's a whole lot of psychology to it. And I really love this image. I did post it. Some of you have seen it. And I know that it got really great response. And I am going to do an artist proof. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but before you do a limited edition, we make up artist proofs. And there's going to be 4, and I'm going to do it at a discounted price. So if anybody's interested in this image, let me know. I'll post it on Tea with Laurie first before I post it out into the world. So anyway, so we're going to go on, and we're going to do a meditation, because I'm going to do that every week, because I think it's really important. I think it's, you know, one time with Tea with Laurie, we are going to talk about rituals. So the rituals are really, really important. And one of the things that I do is I will do meditation. When I shoot, I do walking meditation. So I'm going to do a meditation. It's we're going to use the music that we used last year from last month from Cynthia and Rick Quintanell, and they are Crystal Symbology, and their website will be up while I'm doing the meditation, and it just really gets me into a really, really wonderful place. So I'm going to do a guided meditation for 2.5 minutes. So that'll just let anybody that hasn't come online yet just kind of come online and get everyone to center and let go of everything that happened during the day, because I'm sure it's late on the East Coast, and we have a lot of stuff that we're probably going through our mind and our body. So here we go. So I'm going to take a deep breath, because you can tell I'm a little nervous at the beginning of any of my talks. So deep breath in, breathe in through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. In through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. And really deep exhale through your mouth. And feel every time that you take a breath that you let go. So keep taking deep breaths. And as you breathe in, feel your whole body become re-energized. And as you exhale, feel how you let go of thoughts, things that happen in the day, anything that you're hanging on to. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Now bring the breath through the top of your head with your next inhale. And then exhale out, and just feel your face just relax. And feel the music move through your body. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel your eyes and your ears and your nose just relax. Deep breath in. As you exhale through your mouth, just relax all around your mouth, your jaw. Deep breath in. Relax your neck area, your throat chakra. Deep breath in. And relax your shoulders. We carry such tension in our shoulders. Deep breath in. Relax your upper arms. Deep breath in. Exhale and relax your elbows and your forearms. With the next breath, exhale and feel all the energy just releasing out through your fingertips. Deep breath in. Feel your heart just, oh, wow, sorry. Deep breath in through your chest and exhale. Deep breath in through the rest of your torso, and as you exhale, just feel yourself lighter. Feel where your butt and your back sit on the chair. Just feel everything relax. Now go down to your pelvic area. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Deep breath in at your thighs. Exhale, feel how much lighter you are. Feel how the day is just leaving you. You're just feeling gently carried. Deep breath into your knees. Exhale out. Deep breath in on your calves. Deep breath out. Now your ankles. Deep breath out. Breathe in at your feet and your toes, and exhale all the extra energy that's just tingling in you. Just let it flow through you and out of your body. And then I want you to take 3 deep breaths in, as big as you can get. And then just as you exhale, just feel the air come through your mouth. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. So hopefully you're here with me and present, and we can get into our topic today. And I want to introduce you to James. James is an amazing, like I said, young man. And he's been working with me for a year, and we have just celebrated our 1st year anniversary. So with further ado, this is James.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, James.
How you doing?
Good. I'm so glad you're with me today. You have totally changed my life.
Very happy to be with you today. I'm really honored to be your first guest. Really looking forward to the things that you're going to be bringing to Tea with Laurie. I'm very happy that you decided to do this, and it's really exciting for me. So if it
wasn't you, I wouldn't have done it, because you started off as being my consultant for my website, and then it started brewing. And actually you came up, when I was talking about tea, you came up with the name. And it was like a wonderful collaboration that we had with each other.
It was kind of also the trip to London you took, where we were sitting there talking about tea and just hashing ideas back and forth, how to get you in front of more people, how to get you into a little bit more comfort in front of video, because we've talked about how I think it's really important that people start to see your personality, and just bouncing that back and forth I think was really great, and without that it would have been really difficult. So the Tea with Laurie, it's because when I come to visit you have some tea, and the London thing, it all just kind of came together, but I think it's really of this outlet.
Yeah.
That's why. And I've been pushing you in front of a camera.
Yes, because I'm not comfortable. That's why I'm a photographer. I'm on the opposite side of the camera, because I do not like having my picture taken.
So, I have in retail leadership for quite a while. I really believe in what you put out into the world, and what I decided a long time ago was that I wanted to run my own business, wanted to do my own thing, and I went into retail to learn how to run a business, to learn what I needed to do to be successful. And I feel like for me, there's a lot of businesses out there, a lot of types, and I bounced a little bit around in retail to see those things. And I think you could speak to that too. I think you know somebody who has been in retail that also turned their business around, right?
Right. I think that we are the sum of our parts. So we build on who we are. Like for me to go out and do retail would be really ridiculous. I do a very boutique business because it's who I am. So Carol Andrews, I think you're on. Carol is an amazing woman. Anyone that has met her, you never forget her. And she has a background in marketing and retail, and she had a photography business. She was a photography studio. And she has just put together, like, again, we are who we are. So we capitalize on our strengths and our love. So she is doing kaleidoscope photography right now. And she has become this, she's marketing these umbrellas and these silk scarves that are absolutely magnificent. So she has figured out what her brand is. And that's one of the most wonderful things that James has helped me with is that, who am I? I know who I am as a creative artist. When we talked last week about mentoring and working with coaches, and we figure out what our brand is, who we are, and then we have people that help us, give us accountability and help us with our strengths. Like, I know where my strengths are. I'm a good photographer. I have great people skills. I love being around people, and I'm a nurturer. I am not linear. I have a very hard time making things happen, and I need a lot of structure. So James came in on this. So, like, the same thing with Carol is, you take who you are and then you run with it, but then you have other people help you make it become a reality. And that's one of the reasons I asked James to come. It's like, we all have, a lot of us are visual artists, and we want to showcase our work, and we may not need to make a living out of it, but we want to get people that see it and get it out there. So how do we do that? And so James has provided that structure, and I think because he has the retail background, because he's so savvy, and part of it's your age, is that you're not afraid of social media or the internet. I am. I'm like, oh, would I break this, today?
I think it's really super important. And that's one of the things that I feel like I need to bring to every conversation that I have with the business people that I'm working with, is that you cannot be afraid. You cannot allow yourself to be overcome with the fear. I mean, it's simple as getting in front of a computer. Some people are terrified of doing that. Some people are really put off by putting themselves out there, and a word that I use a lot with you, Laurie, is shameless self-promotion. It's really important for somebody who is the whole entire entity of their business to be comfortable with saying, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to follow me. I need you to like my page. I need you to do this for me. And even if you aren't in a business, you still have to promote yourself. If you're trying to put a message out into the world, you still have to be able to do those things where you're going to be engaging an audience. If you're an artist, if you're a painter, if you're a photographer, I mean, I work with a lot of people, even interior decorators and things like that, people who aren't necessarily in it for the business. I think they also have to take into consideration that at some point they have to market themselves. There's people out there right now, they call themselves tastemakers, who don't have a business, don't have a product, are not a creative, but their whole purpose in life has been to generate a following, get people to trust their instincts on products and certain things. And that's become a marketable skill through Facebook, through social media. It's been a thing that people are doing, where I was talking with one of the people who I've worked with in the past, who he's now flying through Europe, tasting wines and putting photos of himself tasting wines on social media, telling the people that follow him how that stuff he's doing is. So if it's a wine that he's testing, he's talking about the flavors, he's talking about why they would want to buy it. And just him himself encouraging them boosts sales for those companies that are doing that.
So social media is like having a cocktail party. So you connect with people, you build relationships, but we have to be clear on what we want. We have to be clear on what our brand is and what we want. I mean, I think that's brilliant too, is that if people don't, like, I want all of you to share with your friends about Tea with Laurie, but if I don't tell you that, how do you know? We're so bombarded, we don't always know what people need. So so getting back to, how do we get our message out there? How do we structure our time around social media? I mean, it can be overwhelming.
So your first thing is to set a goal. You and I have talked about this at length. What is your purpose? What do you want to come of the stuff that you're putting out into the world? In doing that, you've got to have to be clear with the message that you're putting out. I started to say in the beginning, I firmly believe that when you put out into the world something, you get that back in return.
Absolutely.
So it's super important that you are clear from the get-go what your purpose is. If you don't have that clear goal, then what you're going to get back is not going to be clear. It's not going to be purposeful, and it's going to be, I don't want to say junk, but if you put junk out into the world, you're just throwing things out there, you're going to get junk back. And that's not going to be productive. You're going to find that as you start to learn what you're putting out into the world and being more clear, you're going to get something back in return that is more clear. Laurie, I think you could speak to that a little bit and your experience with Instagram just this week.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I actually emailed James this morning and said, I don't know what has happened, but I have gotten 60 new followers in 24 hours. And I'm like, but I'm hashtagging, and I'm clear on my message because I'm clear who I am as a creative and what I want to put out there. And so there has to be a consistency. And also I want to inspire people. People just don't want to, there's so much out there of like, do this, do that, buy this, buy that. It's more about inspiration and getting, it's what's Tea with Laurie? It's a tribe. It's a tribe of creatives, but it was also the work and the structure that you held me to do this.
Yeah, I think someone like me, I can provide you the tools, and complementary to my personality, which happens to be that more linear, that more analytical, somebody who provides you those tools and let you run with them.
Mm-hmm.
It started with building a website.
Mm-hmm.
You're now comfortable with the fact that your website now is your home. And that's where all of your traffic should go. And that's where your message should be. That's where everything that you want the world to know about you, yourself, your goals, your aspirations, and if you have a business, what that business is, all that stuff should be on your homepage. And then social media is going to be your tool to drive that traffic. There's all kinds of things you can do. There's all kinds of things that you can pay for, all kinds of things that will come at you as you're starting to build this stuff. But I think you need to make sure that you're clear on that message first. And secondly, how you're going to get there. Organically is really the clearest way to get there. And it does take some time. 60 followers in 24 hours. For some people may be a lot. For some people it may not sound like too much because you're at a different place in your organic growth. But being clear and being consistent, you're going to see that 60 followers in 24 hours turn into 100 followers in 24 hours if you maintain your consistency. So what you're going to do, what you're going to wind up doing is sitting down and drawing up a strategy, writing out keywords, and making a plan. If you don't have that plan, you're not going to know what to do. And again, you're just going to be willy-nilly throwing things out there that may or may not stick. You're finding that certain things people will respond to more than others.
And then you run with that and you take that. And it's true because before you came on board, I'd be on social media. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I wasting all this time? What's my goal? What's my message? And I'm just wasting time. And now we have a structure. It's the same thing about creativity when I teach. What's the accountability or the structure to make it happen? It's like, oh, I want to have a show or I want to do a book. But if you don't know how to you're not clear on what your brand is or who you are, how are you going to get from A to B? It's a roadmap. We talked about a roadmap last week. Right. And that's what you do for me, James. You have provided me with a roadmap.
So outside the roadmap, I think the next step is going to be measuring success. How do you measure your success? Because is it going to be Facebook likes? Is it going to be engagement, which would be people responding back to you, people liking your information, just the likes themselves? How do you measure your success, and what does that look like to you? Well, for me, and I message this with you, Laurie, a lot, I don't think Facebook likes or Instagram likes, those page likes, are a good measure of success because you don't really have much control over them. They're going to come or they're going to stay consistently at zero depending on what you do anyway. That's a natural thing that's going to happen. Being consistent, fulfilling that plan should be more of your measures of success. And I think making sure that those goals are reachable, because if you can't ascertain a goal, it's just going to be more frustrating. If you decide, I'm going to have every day next week 50 likes, and for 3 days, you don't wind up getting 50 likes. At the end of that 3 days, you're going to stop posting. And when you stop posting, you're going to get less likes later on. So those things you need to use as tools to gain visibility of where you're at. But I don't think you should measure your success that way. I don't think it's really that important. So the tools that you're going to want to need, I'll throw some terms out there. And if you guys are listening and you want to take notes, these are the things that you really want to know. First, the tool for your homepage that you need is Google Analytics. Google Analytics is going to tell you who is visiting your page, how often they're visiting your page, what they're doing on your page. SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is taking those keywords and making sure that your website reflects your message. So everything that you do when you make a list of keywords should do that, whether you're posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram, writing a blog, or fulfilling your filling out your static pages. But also, and again, I'm just giving you the general terms. There's a lot to do with not on your site SEO. So there's on-site SEO and off-site SEO. On-site SEO would be those things with the keywords, making sure you have labels on images and things like that. And there's tons of resources for this kind of thing online. But also off-site SEO. Off-site SEO is making sure that you have traffic coming to your website from somewhere. So if somebody visits you, if somebody interviews you, if you're talking about the same kind of thing and you have a good conversation with somebody, ask them to link to your website. If they link to your website and they have a good SEO ranking, they will increase your SEO ranking. And all of that is important because you want to be searchable, you want to be found. And if you don't have good SEO, Google will not rank your page high. There are good ways and bad ways of doing this. And I'm going to tell you right now that Google has made it very hard to trick the system. They have an algorithm that looks at whether or not your page is organic. It looks at whether or not your message makes sense. I don't know if you remember, you may not have even noticed it happening, but if you 10 years ago searched for a term on a website, on let's say Google, you would wind up with 100 pages of results. And some of that stuff, when you clicked on it, the first part of that whole website had nothing to do with what you were searching for. But at the bottom of the page, there was lists of terms. That's a bad way of doing it. And Google has figured out a way to eliminate those websites, to put them at the bottom. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to finagle anything. You want everything to be natural. And again, this is put it out into the world the way you want it to be, and you'll receive it back just the same. I think it's super important that you know these things. So You're going to look at your SEO on your website if you have a homepage already. You're going to look at the message, the clarity that you have, what you're putting out into the world. And then the other thing that you need to really consider is on Facebook. Facebook has a similar algorithm called EdgeRank. EdgeRank is simply how Facebook measures your success as a poster. If you think about web space as real estate, there's only so much you can have on that first page. So everybody values that very highly. Facebook uses EdgeRank to decide what they're going to put on that timeline. So when you sign in and you see all those posts that your friends are putting up, pictures of whatever food they ate last night, photos of the sky, whatever it might be, those things are decided by a mathematical computation. And what that mathematical computation takes into account is how much people enjoy your posting. What winds up happening is Facebook shows only 10% of your friends the post that you put on. And even less if you're using a page. So if you're an artist and you're posting on your regular page and you post on your artist page and you're not really engaged, it's only showing a fraction of the people who like your page or the people who you're friends with the post that you put out there. But the minute somebody likes your page, that gives you more points. That gives you a better score to be able to see that posting on a more broader view. As people like your page, and if this is the order that of importance: like, comment, share. So if somebody likes your page, let's pretend that you get 1 point. If somebody comments on your page, let's pretend you get 2. If somebody shares your page, you're going to get 3 points. So the goal is for somebody to share, because really what happens then is 10% of their friends get to see what's on your page. It's something that you can't really predict, but you can influence. So if somebody likes your page, you can go in and say, thanks for the like, so-and-so. And hopefully they'll come in and comment. Now you've got a like and a comment from that person. You got 3 points. And hopefully maybe they'll consider sharing it. You'll get more points that way too. The goal is to be engaged. What you put out into the world comes back to you. So as Facebook sees your engagement, as Facebook sees people liking your page, they're going to put more value to the things that you are doing, and they'll show a better percentage of your friends. The more percentage of your friends see your page, the more chance you're going to be engaged with somebody else. And it just continues to grow that way. So you go from not having any likes on a daily basis to seeing a couple likes here and there to then starting to get hit really heavily, and it just grows from there. The second part of that is making sure that your message is purposeful. Laurie, how hard was it to learn the hashtags?
Oh my God. It was like, what does it mean? I didn't understand it at all. I mean, you really had to walk me through it. And now I think that's why things have changed, because again, if you don't know your brand, how do you know what you're going to hashtag?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So knowing your brand is important, and knowing what a hashtag is important. I'll break it down again. There's a lot of people who may or may not know, and you can do up to 30 hashtags. That's the little pound sign that you could put in front of any word. A hashtag is going to put you in a list of people who are talking about that same topic. So if I hashtag photography, and there's 300,000 people talking about photography, then you're going to wind up in a list of those 300,000 people. If I decided one day that I wanted to see what was happening in Paris, I can search hashtag Paris, And if I'm on Instagram, I'll immediately get pictures. If I'm on Twitter, I'll start getting mostly news. That's why the hashtag is important. When you start putting your stuff out inside a hashtag, you now start to get out from underneath your friends list and you get out into the world itself. The other thing that you can do outside of a hashtag is talking directly to people. Now, this is that engagement part. This is being part of the conversation. The only way you're going to be successful on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, not so much Google Plus because not a lot of people use that as a social media engine anymore. But if you start talking to people and becoming a relevant part of the conversation, you'll start to get that. It's street cred. It's street cred online. You're going to start to see people responding to you. You're going to start to see people following you, seeing the things that you're doing, and trusting your advice. When you become a trusted advisor, people will come to you for everything. And if you're doing it for the purpose of making a sale, people will come to you. If you're doing it for the purpose of getting yourself known, if you want to put yourself in an influential spot, then that's super important too. It's all about what your goal is and how you put that message out there. But the tools that you need are the things that we're talking about now. SEO, EdgeRank, having a clear message, using the tools that you've got and building tools that you don't have. So one of those things, we did not have a means to get in front of everybody. Laurie's goal was to teach as many people as she could. And traveling can only get her so far. So once a month, getting in front of the camera, turning on a Google Hangout and talking to you guys is that tool that we built so that she can continue to teach that creativity. It's that thing that she needed to continue her message and to continue reaching her goal. Those are the things that we're talking about. It's far more important that you keep striving towards those goals and thinking outside of the box than it is for you to understand all the little idiosyncrasies of what the actual algorithm is and that kind of stuff. Google, Facebook, everybody, all these search engines, everything that you're doing, it's all going towards human interaction. So Google and Facebook want to be able to read how people interact with your content. Google wants to read your content as a human because all these companies realize that you are what is driving social media. You are what is driving your brand, your message, whatever it is you're putting out there, whatever your goal is because you put it out there, it's all human interaction. And part of Tea with Laurie is those people who don't already get a chance to see her, she will be able to show her personality a lot more on the video than she can hiding behind her 30 hashtags and her photo of a tree.
That's
she
very
can show a lot. Go ahead, what?
No, I didn't hear what you said. She can what?
I said you can show a lot of your personality through that.
Yeah.
But for them to learn from you, they need to be able to see you.
Right. And then also because I teach so much, it's like I love doing these workshops, but then people go home and it's like, how do you keep that energy? How do you keep that container going? Which is what, it's like what you give to me. I can't just do it one day. Mm-hmm. It has to be part of it's got to be a part of my flow, a part of my creative. It helps me keep me more creative and keep me growing as an artist.
And it's really important when you have somebody that you're working with that your personalities complement each other too.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. And it's like a little marriage in some ways. And you compliment me, and you give me my rein, and you also, there are times that you'll say things and I'm not ready to hear it, and you just like step back, and then all of a sudden it'll be a light bulb, and then we take it and run. So it's like you being my partner, and you compliment me in ways that in skills that I don't have. It works really, really well. Do you think we want to take some questions?
Sure. There's a few Laurie and I are experimenting with this question and answer panel, and we hadn't seen whether or not we could see all the questions. Do you see questions in there?
I see a few. I see Brad's on. Hey, Brad. And he's talking at the Dallas PPA in April on this topic. So, and he's picking up a lot of stuff, which is really good.
Good.
Yeah. Brad, do you have any other questions?
So I have a few on my end.
Okay.
I have Carol Andrews asking if there's a book or a resource to help guide us to clarify our message. There are books. There are a ton of books on this. The thing is, if you're buying a book is very static, and Google and Facebook and all these websites are constantly updating and trying to improve. Your better resource is the internet itself. I do a lot of searching on YouTube. I spend a lot of time. YouTube has become today's modern dad. I don't know if you've noticed this or not. You want to know how to fix a car? You go to YouTube. If you need real information, real time, the information is going to be on YouTube, and find trusted sources. For SEO, I actually listened to a podcast. There's a couple guys out of Chicago. It's called the SEO Podcast, and they do a really great job of keeping things simple, keeping things entertaining, and breaking things down to a point where you can understand what needs to be done. They talk about on and off site SEO. EdRank is something that a lot of people talk about on YouTube, because it's one of the things that, I don't know if you've ever delved down the path of network marketing, which is a very dark place, but they talk about how you're going to be doing what you do on Facebook, and talking about what you need to do to get there. Reading stories. Justin Bieber was found on YouTube. YouTube is the reason why we have to deal with him on the news every couple weeks. He was engaged. He was putting his music out there, talking to the people who would follow him on his YouTube page, engaging his fans, and ultimately somebody saw him in the music industry and decided to swipe him up. That's the kind of thing that's happening on YouTube, and YouTube is super, super important. If you don't already have a YouTube page, and you can get in front of the camera, you should start one. There's things that you're missing out on there. There's a character on YouTube. His username is PewDiePie, and what he does is sits in front of his computer screen, plays video games, and makes funny noises, and he makes $5 million a year. So that would be the resource I would go to for a lot of this. And the reason why is because on YouTube you can see people's reactions and whether or not it's worked. If you just do a general Google search, you will get information. You get old information, you'll get new information, but you won't get the testimonials from people on the comments.
That really
would be where I'd go.
Yeah.
Well,
we have 3 people that want to hire you.
I'm seeing that. Thank you, Diana.
There's a couple more, but there's 2 more. One's from Megan and one from Deborah. So if we can answer them, and then we're probably going to have to wrap it up. So
sure.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Go ahead and read it.
Okay, so this is from Megan. Hi, Megan. She's amazing. She will be, she's going to be an amazing teacher and well-known in a few years. For people needing help determining their brand and message, that is what I am best at. Whoops, she just disappeared.
No, it's that is what I'm best at. Love to help with in my teaching / mentoring. So she's offering her help. If you need to figure out her brand, that's Megan Garner. Garner, right? Yeah.
Garner. Okay, so Deborah has a good one. In terms of hashtags, should one start with completely general ones like hashtag photography and then drop down to successfully more specific levels in the hierarchy, or be more strategic in targeting your message?
One of the things that you should do is hashtag research, and there's a lot of websites you can do that on, but probably the best one would be Twitter itself. If you do hashtag photography, there's going to be a lot of people doing that. And it depends on what your goal is. Decide what your goal is, write down what your keywords are, and try to figure out what you're trying to do. Hashtag photography is great. There's going to be thousands and thousands of pictures, but or pieces of information. But what's going to happen is your message is going to get drowned out very fast too, because there's so many people putting that message out there. Whereas Laurie and I were talking, and I'm trying to get her onto this thing. There's something called Twitter chats that are happening. Twitter chats are basically people putting the same hashtag all at the same time. So what was it? 1 o'clock on Thursdays, hashtag photo chat. So what's happening is, except for this week when we tried to do it, they canceled it. But anybody who's interested in having a chat on this photo chat can go at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and put information out there. So if you're a source of information, you can introduce yourself. Hi, I'm so-and-so, such and such kind of photographer, hashtag photo chat, ask me anything. If you have a question, you could do the same thing. You could ask your question, hashtag photo chat, and it puts it out there. And all these people that are looking at that hashtag all at the same time will start to respond to you. They'll start to ask you questions if you're a professional. They'll start to answer your questions if they're interested. So the purpose of what your hashtag is really important. If the purpose is just to get in front of people, what I would do is go to twitter.com, and on the bottom left of your screen, it'll show you what the trending hashtags are, the top 20, I think it is. And you could hashtag whatever. But you should definitely be more purposeful. The other thing that I think is you should own a hashtag. If you're a business person, if you've got something going on, you should own that hashtag. So invent one. Hashtag visual visionaries. We've done this already. And we haven't used it so much as of late because we're still structuring what we want to do with it, Laurie and I. But that's our hashtag. And when we start to use it, you're going to see that everything that we talk about with visual visionaries, or we've done it with Tea with Laurie as well. You can go on Facebook, on Twitter right now, search for the hashtag Tea with Laurie, and you're going to see some information about Tea with Laurie.
And we had 31. What did we have? 3,100 views on that.
Yeah, 3,100 impressions, which is really, really good. So I don't think you have to be specific to one hashtag, but you definitely have to have a purpose behind them and know what it's going to do for you. So I would do that research. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So like the people that are saying they want to hire you, how do they get in touch with you?
Oh, okay. Let me just. I have websites. JB. I'm sorry. It's jbdigitalstrategies.com. The letters JB and the words digital strategies.
We can put that up on Tea with Laurie and Visual Visionaries too.
Yeah. You can also email me. It's james@jbdigitalstrategies.com. Or you can go on my Twitter. That's actually not JB Digital Strategies. It's JB319. Can you see that, Laurie?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So this is where you're going to find me. I'm going to do a small giveaway here. The first 5 people I receive an email from Tea With Laurie, requesting a session. I could do a Skype session with you, free of charge for 30 minutes. What we'll do is we'll look at your strategy. We'll look at what you're doing on Facebook. We'll look at what you're doing on your website, what your message is, and what you could do to kind of hone that a little bit. So the first 5 people, we're going to do a free 30-minute session and take a look at what you're doing there.
I have to say, just from firsthand, he's made it where it's not a headache. Social media, it's fun now. It's fun, and I'm seeing results, and it makes sense. And now I structure things so at the beginning of the week, I do most of my social media and just plug it in. And there's a lot of resources that will allow you to, that will post during the week for you, and it helps me keep on target with my message and what I want to do. So you have been a lifeline for me. I can't tell you and thank you enough for all you've given me and wisdom. And also, I feel much more in control. Like, it's not like I feel like a fish in this big sea and it's overwhelming. It's not. It's like, this is fun. And I'm like, I have a pen pal now in Italy. I have all these people in Italy that are following me, especially because of the infrared. And it's just, it makes the world small. And so when I'm teaching in France, that a couple of these guys are going to come over and see me. So thank you, James.
No problem. Thank you.
You've been incredible.
Just a quick note, Liz is asking, her computer broke, so only half of this. My question, will this be available online after? Is that something you want to answer?
It'll be on YouTube.
It'll also be on the teawith.com.
teawithlaurie.com. It'll be on both, and last month's was on there too, so you can look at that as you can. So anyway, we're going to try to wrap it up. A few more slides. Thank you, James. I'm probably gonna, James and I are talking about every month him giving a tip or just coming on and maybe answering a question or something. We haven't quite figured out the structure yet. And I appreciate all you guys being here with us, because we're working it out, also trying to figure out what you need. It is around creativity. And I love the fact that the business and structure has to be a big, important part to, being creative. So there's some other things that I've been thinking about, talking about, and would love your feedback. I will be talking about artist block and how to find your process and how to develop that. So, and we're going to have different guests, which is just really great. It's been a really exciting time. So I guess that's not coming up. Can you guys see I'm not sure if you can see the screen of the classes that are coming up. Can you refresh that? These are my classes in the near future. The next Google Hangout will be on the 21st of April. I will be in Texas. So, whoops, can we go back to? Also, I have a couple of places, 2 places still open for my France class. I will be at the Sierra Club. So any of you that live close by to me, Sierra Club next Wednesday, the 30th. Magical World of Infrared Photography, and also we will have a phase 1 camera from Digital Transitions on hand, so you can hold it and drool and wish that you could have one, because it's an amazing, amazing camera. So was that the last slide? I guess so. So you know the dates. I am also for the next week or 2, I'm going to be giving 50% off of a Skype. So if you want to do 1 Skype session with me, it'll be 50% off. Please contact me. I'm only going to be able to do 5 of those. And please stay in touch on Tea with Laurie. Share with other people. And I hope you start posting photographs. I'd love to see some self-portraits. visual visionaries. I think the more that we commit as being a tribe and a group, it'll help us all with our creativity. So thank you, Carol Andrews, for letting us use you as an incredibly successful talent and marketing tool. So we're really excited about your new products, and I can't wait to get my umbrella and my scarf. So anyway, James, thank you again. Please stay in touch, and we'll see you next month, April 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ciao for now.